So the topic, go back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. Today I have a film segment called Over and Under, and what it is the title of a film will pop up on the screen. I will say if it's overrated, perfectly rated, or underrated, and from there I'll give my opinions why. And like I said, keyword opinions. These are just my opinions. If you have a different opinion of a film that I might say is overrated or underrated, let me know your reasons why in the comment section below. But let's get into it. This, for me personally, is underrated. Why is it underrated? Because the first Top Gun I absolutely hate. And 4, 3, whenever that trailer came out many years ago, if you would have told me, hey, that's going to be in your top 5 favorite movies of the year, I would have laughed at you and right in your face would have just bah, ha, 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 big old laugh and said that you're lying. But surely enough, it is. It is old school filmmaking at its finest. Films I grew up on from the 90s. It has that vibe. It has that feel. The realness on screens just translates to the audience so well, and it makes it such a awesome experience. And having Tom Cruise in there as one of the last movie stars left really sells it and drives the point home. And it's just a fun ride. I'm gonna have to say this film is overrated. Personally, it wasn't. I love dry humor, but this was like, if you take the community that loves dry humor, which is already like 5%, the 1% out of that, I think really enjoyed this film, or they just, I don't know why, like it just didn't connect. I love the idea of this film, that you need to grow, and obviously growing, you just don't cut people off right away, and there's better ways of handling situations and exploring the idea of friendship and old friendships and growing past and growing out of friendships. I think that's an excellent idea. It's something that happens to all of us, and exploring that and making it so outlandish, I can see why people might say it's funny, but to me it's just like all the jokes are dead as doornail. It just doesn't connect with me personally. I think it's very well acted. It's one of the best made films of the year for damn sure, but it doesn't hit home. Aubrey Plaza in this film is fantastic. I was very surprised with her performance because I know her mostly as a comedy actress, and she put on one of my favorite films of the year. It's very tense, and because of that tenseness, I will say this film is underrated, because not only because of how tense it is, it's surprising, and it's surprising because I didn't hear of this film. I was on Netflix and I saw that it said 2022, and I said, I'll give it a watch. So I watched it and I was blown away. I was edge of my seat at times. Theo from Sons of Anarchy, I don't know his real name, he'll always be Theo to me. Hell of a performance as well. And the writing and the tension and just how it gives and takes. Very Michael Mann-esque. That's what I got vibes from this movie, because it'll give you a little bit and it'll take it away. And just constantly repeating that, breaking your heart, making you invest and root for this bad person. I thought it did that very, very well, and no one's talking about it. So, underrated for sure. Brian Tyree Henry is the reason why this film is underrated as fuck, because his performance is the best supporting, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's the best supporting role of the year, definitely for men. There's a few performances out there that might rival it, but personally, his scenes alone just blew me away. And J Law, she's no slouch, so that's really saying something. But the story of this film, the themes, and everything in it, I think is very, very good. It doesn't really hit home for me personally, but I can see how it's relatable, because I know people with traumas similar to these people, and it helps the understanding process with friends. So I really enjoyed that aspect of this film, and I love how deep it is, and the motivations, the drives, and peace. So searching for peace and happiness, I thought that was a very good point to put in this film. because that's what we're all looking for, is peace and happiness. But again, just like Emily the Criminal, no one is talking about this movie, and it's a damn shame. Underrated. I'm saying underrated because it just hit Netflix a couple of days ago, and it's not making the splash that the first Knives Out did. Maybe because there's not a sweater in this movie, but for me personally, Knives Out 2 is just as good as the first one, if not better. So underrated. Turning Red is a very fun movie and underrated, and I feel like because of the controversy and how people are reacting to it, I think it's going to get lost in that huge Disney catalog. Overrated just because of how much press it got and how much people are talking about it. The performance in it by Austin Butler is good, but the rest of the movie is just long and pointless. It feels like it just feels like it drags on and drags on and drags on, and it speeds up, and then you're here, you're there. For a movie to move so fucking slow, it jumps around huge gaps and feels like it moves too fast at the same time. So because of that, how much press it got for a mediocre ass movie, I'm gonna say it's overrated. Definitely underrated. Prey was incredible. It took me a while to get on that point of view of it. I had to watch it and like really suspect, like, all right, did she do enough to beat the predator up to get to the point of killing the predator or whatever, winning, right? And after 2 watches and watching clips over and over and over again on the rewind button, I was like, all right, this film's incredibly smart. It takes a franchise that I love that isn't the best and makes a good movie, and it's the second best movie in the Predator franchise because of that. The thought process behind it, the love, the passion that goes into this, and because of that, underrated. Because again, just like these streaming movies, a lot of them get lost on the streaming platforms. It's on Hulu. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. Best action movie of the year, maybe. Underrated just a little bit because is it good? No, but it's not as bad as everyone says it is. And yes, Christian Bale did get shafted, but that's still a really good performance. No one's really saying this movie is great, so I'm gonna say Jurassic World 3 is perfectly rated. It made money. People saw it. No one talked about it. Big splash for the horror community, and because of that and how it felt like a good reason to update it with the streaming services and how technology has progressed, I thought it was a decent reason to update this franchise. Make another one, I don't know how I feel about that, but I do feel that this was a pretty solid film, so I will say it's perfectly rated. Controversial, but this one to me personally is overrated. I've seen this on a ton. Honestly, I think I've seen it on every top 10 list I've seen just to go through and see if I'm not missing any movies. And there are movies I'm missing. So I'm just making notes. I need to see After Sun. I need to see this. I need to see that. And when I'm watching these top 10 lists, I'm seeing Nope every single time. And for me, I watched it and I was like, that was incredible filmmaking, incredible performances. But it didn't hit home. It didn't connect. It just, man, that was great. All right, what's happening next? It didn't stick with me. The only thing that really stuck with me was the monkey. Why did the monkey go crazy? Why is the monkey even in this fucking movie? It was just very confusing. And after that, I was just like seeing like, oh, this is great, this is great, this is great. I'm the movie guy. So everyone's like, oh, did you see Nope? Did you see Nope? Did you see Nope? Did you see Nope? And I was just like, why is everyone loving this movie so much? So I watched interviews and tried to understand it and see why. And then haven't heard anything about it until top 10 list, and it's on everyone's top 10 list. And I just don't understand why. It's a very well made movie, as I said, but it just doesn't connect. It just doesn't have any investment. For me personally, it's just I'm watching something on the screen that's really, really well made, and when I finish it, I go on my way. So a little underrated, overrated, overrated. But that's what I thought about 2022 movies. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts and opinions. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a